You think Trump is going to pull out?
I think Trump is nervous about it. I think I talked to a lot of sources in his world. I think he has really struggled with it. It's not just a narrative or a talking point from Democrats. He really has struggled with how to combat her. And I think going into that debate, he does not really want to do it.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now that the DNC is officially over and Robert F. Kennedy has ended his campaign and endorsed Donald Trump, the next big political event we're all looking forward to is, of course, the presidential debate. And I say debate because, remember, Kamala Harris is not committed to any other debates. She has chickened out, has backed out of the Fox News debate. So Donald Trump has to go into enemy territory, into a hostile environment, and debate not just Kamala Harris, but also the moderators, as we saw all the way back in 2016. So this, of course, is going to be a very big deal and could make or break either campaign. And from the way things are going for the Democrats, chances are Kamala's gonna crack first, okay? So of course, we want to look at this topic being discussed on Real Time with Bill Maher, but before we get to the video, please like and comment so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Trump traditionally, when he's on the ballot, chronically underpolls, all right? And so they came back late in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania in 2020, and it showed Biden winning these states 7, 8
under
points.
polls, meaning Trump's going to do better than the polling shows?
I'm saying traditionally, he underpolls. Traditionally.
Means he's going to do better in the election because people are too ashamed to tell a pollster they're going to vote for.
I don't know,
right.
But I'm just saying traditionally, with Trump on the ballot, just telling the Democrats, they said, oh, James and Debbie down. Oh, what's he talking about? Well, I'm not just telling you, you got to win by 3. And I think we can get there. I think the debate on September 10th is going to be so consequential, and it's going to have an audience that we can't believe, because what does America love? A train wreck. And they had one on September 27th, and they want another train wreck.
I agree on that. Do you guys have that debate?
It's ABC debate.
ABC debate.
If it happens, I still think it's an open question of
really?
whether or not it happens.
Trump's going to go. He's got to.
You think Trump is going to pull out?
I think Trump is nervous about it. I think I talked to a lot of sources in his world. I think he has really struggled with it. It's not just a narrative or a talking point from Democrats. He really has struggled with how to combat her. And I think going into that debate, he does not really want to do it. I think it's difficult, if not impossible, for him to pull out, because his campaign manager had cards printed that said anywhere, anytime, any place for President Biden, and it would look weak. But I don't think he's looking forward to it at this point.
Can you believe what Kaitlan Collins just said there? Oh, Donald Trump is the one afraid to debate, as if he's the one who's only committing to one presidential debate. I mean, this is truly hilarious. How in the world could Donald Trump possibly spar off against Kamala Harris, that totally intelligent person that got all of her positions through completely legitimate means? And of course, never mind Donald Trump's track record on debates, right? He didn't go through every single Republican candidate in 2016, destroy Hillary Clinton, and destroy Joe Biden just a month ago. I mean, this is what the left is basically telling themselves. And James Carville rightly points something out there. Donald Trump traditionally polls low. Every single poll in 2020 had Biden winning by a whole bunch more, and it turns out, due to something interesting, he won by a whole lot less. And the same thing happened in 2016. All the polls show Hillary Clinton beating Donald Trump easily. And then, of course, what happened? So we're going to see the same thing happening in 2024, even though the polls are actually looking pretty good for Donald Trump, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But what I want to get to now is a clip from NBC, where they basically understand the weakness of Kamala Harris.
When does the Harris honeymoon end? Because at some point she's going to have to sit down, she's going to have to do a serious interview, she's going to have to go unscripted, maybe even a full news conference, but it has to happen.
Oh, absolutely has to happen. And, you know, we're starting to see her talk to reporters. Like yesterday, she spoke to some reporters in Pittsburgh, and they asked her, how are you going to pay for your economic plan, right? And she didn't really make a lot of sense. She just kept saying over and over again, it would be a return on investment. It would be a return on investment. Yeah. She said it 4 times over a, 60 second, and it just wasn't very strong. You could tell she's a little rusty when she's not on her teleprompter, and she hasn't always done well in the past when in a one-on-one, when you saw what happened with your colleague Lester Holt. And so I think that this is actually a disservice to her. They're really building this up to be a very momentous moment when she finally sits down with a network anchor, and she could make one wrong move, and that's the entire news cycle.
Before we continue, I do want to mention that Kamalanomics is a complete disaster. She is basically endorsing communism. So what can you do to protect your investments? You can go to Genesis Gold Group and turn your 401k or IRA into a gold-backed security. And remember, Genesis Gold Group is a faith-based America First organization, and to contact them, you simply have to call 1-800-200-4653 or visit angryteachergold.com. Let's get back to it. So even the left recognizes Kamala Harris's Achilles heel, right? It's public speaking. Whenever she has to articulate her own ideas, it always devolves into cackles or going roundabout and not answering the question. So the idea she's going to do well at these upcoming debates is completely laughable. Donald Trump has destroyed much smarter people than her. So what's going to happen, of course, is she's going to either beg for a second debate or the media will run complete cover and gaslight saying, oh, she actually won. But we're all going to see it happen in real time, which of course is going to be wonderful. Now, the last thing I want to point out here is the polling, right? Rasmussen has been doing daily tracking polls and combining everything together to get, of course, a trend in terms of how Donald Trump is doing, and it's been looking pretty good. And just yesterday, he posted this. Let's check it out.
Here we are with the two-way matchup, and if the 2024 presidential election were held today and the main candidates were Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, who would you vote for? And Donald Trump wins nationally 48% to 46%, a 2-point lead, and basically at the margin of error for this poll. He's doing worse with men in this poll, leading by 3 points, but better with women, actually leading here with women by 2 points. Now, you'll often see men and women swing back and forth. That's just part of what happens in our polling. But in general, Trump has had a bigger lead with men, getting close to 10 points, and has mostly been down with women. Now, in these crosstabs, we actually have age broken out in more granular buckets because the poll was so big. So here we're actually seeing 18 to 29-year-olds, and they're pretty based. Trump is only losing by 2 among the Zoomers. So I don't know if it's the TikTok videos or those live streams he's doing, but he's doing absolutely great. And he's doing even better among 30 to 39-year-olds and not doing quite as well among middle-aged voters as he does in other polling. In most of those polls, he's been leading by upper single digits, and he's been tied to losing among 65 and older voters, but here he's actually winning by 6 points. But on to the race results, and Trump is winning among white voters by double digits here, 10 points, better a little bit than he's been doing previously. He's getting 29% of the black vote, pretty much in the recent strike zone post-Biden of 25 to 30 points. He's losing among Hispanic voters by 2, and he's mostly been winning with them.
So following what Rasmussen is saying, yes, Trump is up nationally and close to 30% with black voters, doing great with younger voters, right? Doing great with Hispanic voters. I mean, historically, what? We're getting 30% of the Hispanic vote. We're getting 5% of the black vote. Trump has taken those numbers to the moon, all right? And yet, of course, many other polls are out there saying, oh, Donald Trump is losing bigly to Kamala Harris, and it just doesn't make sense. Kamala Harris is a brand new, fresh face for the Democrat Party, and having a better messenger does matter for your message. But the problem is their message is just simply more of the same, more of Biden's policies, and anything that is not one of Biden's policies is a copy of Trump's. She is leaning to the center in a big way in order to try to fool everybody into thinking she's not this crazy wacko progressive that she has been her entire political career. So as usual, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.